Let us pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the office of leaders and county assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen. Okay, order. Madam Clerk, can you please take us through the order paper for the day?
Order paper number 283B. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Honorable members, I'd like to acknowledge on the public gallery, we have students of our friend's school, Mikuva, in Webuye, who are on a study tour at the assembly, and the students are accompanied by the following teachers: Mr. Ignatius Sikuku, and Miss Nancy Makoha. And it's wonderful to have you here with us today at the County Assembly of Kisumu. This is a fantastic opportunity for the students to witness firsthand how our local government works and how decisions are made that impact our community. And remember, every person sitting in these assembly chambers was once a student, just like you. And they pursued the education, worked hard, and developed a passion for serving others. You are following in these footsteps by taking your time to learn and explore. I welcome you to Kisumu County Assembly. And honorable members, as per traditions, I want to give a few members a chance to say something to the students. Maybe I'll give 2 ladies and 2 gentlemen. Yes, Honorable Millicent of Muya of North Seme.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. To our honorable visitors, this is Honorable Millicent Omuya of County Assembly of Kisumu, representing North Seme Ward, the Governor's Ward. First, I want to take this opportunity to welcome you to this assembly. This is a house of law. We make laws. We scrutinize, we judge. We recruit, we sack. So it is an equivalent of High Court in this county. So I want to tell you as honorable members, we were once students. I was once a girl just like you. I went to an ECD, I went to a primary, then I went to those other stages of learning. I am a mother. Apart from my legislative duties as an MCA, if you happen to visit me, I will go to the kitchen and cook for you because you will be my visitor. And I want to tell you that learning is the best thing that a parent can give you. After finishing schooling, if you are a girl, you are just my sister in the house. And if you are a son, you are just a brother in my house. So take this opportunity of learning as the best thing your parents can do to you. And when learning, aim high. And remember that everything is possible. You can also one day represent your people. Karibuni sana, thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Millicent Omuya. Yes, Honorable Lumumba Wade of Southeast Jakach Ward. Honorable. Yes, Honorable Peter Basso.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, let me also rise to pass a word to these young gentlemen and ladies in our public gallery. Mine is just to encourage you to work hard in school. And in this world, you can be anything. As you see, all these members here, they were once students. And because of their hard work, dedication, commitment, that's why they have reached where they are today. So it's upon you as students to work hard, commit to your books, and you also go far as possible to where you can be. I also want to encourage you to be disciplined in school, follow what your teachers are telling you, and through that, they're there to impact your lives. And I know and very certain that If you follow what they are telling you, then you will go far in this life. Thank you, Madam Speaker. As I also pass my message. Thank you.
I'll give the opportunity to Honorable Lumumba Wade.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, let me take this opportunity to welcome our students here from Bungoma. First and foremost, my name is Lumumba Wade. I represent Southeast Nyakach. Nyakach sub-county has the best dressed men in this assembly today. They are all in suits. I wish I could tell them to rise up, but then this is for other members to emulate. I know you are from Bungoma. Personally, I have a lot of attachment with Bungoma. I have friends in Bungoma, but let me first take this opportunity to pass my condolence to the principal of Bungoma High School. I know you passed on a few days ago. Burial is supposed to be sometimes, but then as students from Bungoma County, I wish to pass my.
Honorable Lumumba Wade, the school is from Webuye, not Bungoma.
But it's Bungoma County.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just right. In Bungoma is very, very brilliant people. I know, and I believe you are going to follow suit. As I'm speaking now, I know one of your sons is appearing before the elections board for an interview, none other than Sol Wasilwa, who is my friend. I have friends. I've lived in Bungoma. I know Bungoma. What I was doing in Bungoma is something to discuss another day. I would wish that we continue to share and to share this kind of exchange. Just the other day, all of us were in Bungoma when we came for county sports. Now you are here. Come also and share with us the experience. We wish our people next time, students from our area, also may do the same, and we continue exchanging ideas, talents, and so forth. Otherwise, thank you very much. I welcome you.
Yes, Honorable Karen Odhiambo of Caroline Shorimoy Award.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. Good afternoon, our guests. Honorable Karen Odhiambo, Member of County Assembly, representing Shorimoy Kaloleni Ward. I also take this opportunity to welcome you to this honorable house. In this house, we are 47 members, 35 elected and 12 nominated.
On a point of order, Madam Speaker.
What is the point of order, Honorable Seth?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. For the first time, we've had a member addressing the gallery, while it's in practice that all communication in this house goes through the chair, who is the speaker, Madam Speaker. Is it right? And can we continue with such a practice in this house, where members address gallery direct and then greet them and they respond? It's like a conversation between members and the public. Is it the practice of the house? Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. I need your guidance.
Yes, Honorable Karen, stand guided because all communication comes through the chair.
Okay, I stand guided. Thank you for that, Mr. Honorable Okumu. Okay. Allow me to proceed kindly. As I said earlier, we are 47 members, 35 elected and 12 nominated. The 35 members represent 35 wards. And I just want to echo what my colleagues have just said. Now that you have the opportunity, work hard. You need to impress your parents and the guardians. And The best thing you can be given by your parents is education. So do your best. Thank you and feel most welcome.
Thank you, honorable members. We come to the end of this part, and maybe Madam Clerk take us through the next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Yes, Honorable Kennedy Ouma Ooko, Leader of Majority.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, before I give my statement, I would also like to join the queue of the members in giving a warm welcome to our visiting school from Bungoma County. I want to say that we are delighted to have you join us here in this assembly. And I do hope that this assembly will be a memorable and enriching experience for all of you when you go back home. Feel most welcome. Honorable Speaker, I stand to give a statement to members of the business becoming before the House on the following week. Honorable Speaker and honorable members, this is therefore to bring to the attention of the members and the County Assembly that for the week commencing Wednesday, 26th March to Tuesday, 8th April 2025, the Select Committee on Assembly House Business at its last meeting approved the following tentative businesses to appear in the order paper as follows. On Wednesday, 26th March 2025 and Thursday, 27th March 2025, there will be a sector engagement between the sectoral committees and the line departments on the proposed Kisumu County Fiscal Strategy paper for the financial year 2025-2026 as per a program that will be shared to you in the wall. On Tuesday, 1st April 2025 and Wednesday, 2nd April 2025, there will be sector engagements on the Kisumu County proposed supplementary budget estimates for the financial year 2024-2025. On Thursday, 3rd April 2025, at 2:30 p.m., the following papers will be laid. 1. The chairperson of Pick Park Committee, Honorable Kennedy Ouko, will table the committee's report on the examination of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of 1. Kisumu County Social Health Insurance Fund for the financial year 2023-2024, 2. Kisumu County Water and Sewage Companies, Kiwasco, for the financial year 2023-2024, and 3. Jaramogi Odinga Teaching and Referral Hospital for the financial year 2023-2024. Notices of motion that will be given on the same day. The chairperson of Pick Park, Honorable Kennedy Ouko, will give a notice of motion for the adoption of the committee reports on the examination of the reports of the Auditor General of the financial year statements of 1. Kisumu County Social Health Insurance Fund, financial year 2023-2024, Kisumu County Water and Sewage Company for the financial year 2023-2024, Jaramogi Odinga Teaching and Referral Hospital, financial year 2023-2024. Commencement of business on the same day. The chairperson of the Select Committee on Pick Park, Honorable Kennedy Ouko, will move a motion for the adoption of the committee report on the examination of the reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Raburg Sub-County Hospital in the financial years 2021, 2022, 2022, 2023. The Leader of Majority will move a motion for the consideration of an extension to the short recess adjournment date from 3rd April 2025 to 10th April 2025 to facilitate conclusion of deliberations on the proposed Kisumu County Fiscal Strategy paper for the fiscal year 2025-2026 and the Kisumu County proposed supplementary budget estimates for the financial year 2024-2025. On Tuesday, 8th, 2025, statements, the leader majority will issue a statement pursuant to order number 41-2C of the standing orders on the business coming before the County Assembly for the week commencing on Wednesday, 9th April 2025. Commencement of business. The chairperson of the Select Committee of PICPAC, Honorable Kennedy Ouko, will move a motion for the adoption of the report on the examination of the reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Sondu Sub-County Hospital for the financial years 2021-2022 and 2022-2023. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Next order. Okay, honorable members, we are still on statement hour. Next order, Madam Clerk.
Commencement of business. Order number 8, motion. Adoption of the report of PICPAC Committee on the examination of the reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Nyahera Sub-County Hospital for the financial years 2021-2022 and 2022-2023.
Yes, Honorable James Were, I have the communication from the chair that you'll be moving the motion. Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise to move a motion that this House adopts the report of PICPAC Committee on the examination of reports on the Auditor General on the financial statements of Nyahera Sub-County Hospital for the financial year 2021-2022 and 2022-2023. And Madam Speaker, I want to seek the leave of the House so that I can use the moving notes. Madam Speaker, the report has been posted on our walls, and I think members have gone through it. Madam Speaker, on behalf of the Public Accounts and Investment Committee, PICPAC, and pursuant to Kisumu County Assembly Standing Order number 188, I wish to present to this House the report of committee on the audited financial statement of Nyahera Sub-County Hospital for the financial year 2021-2022 and 2022-2023. Madam Speaker, the County Assembly exercised oversight over the county government entities, stock investment, and their expenditure pursuant to the Article 185, Subsection 3 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, through the Public Accounts and Investment Committee, which in turn derives its mandate from the County Assembly Standing Orders. Madam Speaker, Article 229(8) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 requires the County Assembly within 3 months after receiving the audit report to debate, consider the report, and take appropriate action. Madam Speaker, the committee held 2 sittings during which it received both written and oral evidence from the accounting officer on audit queries raised by the Auditor General on the financial statement of Nyahera Sub-County Hospital for the financial years 2021-2022 and 2022-2023. Honorable Speaker, I wish to consider my appreciation to fellow honorable members of the committee, the officers of the Speaker and the Clerk of the Assembly, Committee Secretariat, and the Office of the Auditor General for the facilitation and technical support that made the production of this report possible. Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the Public Accounts and Investment Committee, I now wish to table the report on consideration of the Auditor General report on financial statement of Nyahera Sub-County Hospital for the financial years 2021-2022 and 2022-2023, and urge this House to adopt it. Madam Speaker, the medical superintendent, Dr. Karen Atta, appeared before the committee on 15th January 2025 to adduce evidence on the audited financial statement of Nyahera Sub-County Hospital for the financial years 2021-2022 and 2022-2023. The medical superintendent was accompanied by the following officers: Evelyn Ogola, Hospital Administrator. The following officers represented the Office of the Auditor General in this committee meeting: Margaret Oyata, the Office of the Auditor General; On Speaker, the following general observations were made. 1, that there are variances between financial statements and the supporting ledgers. Therefore, the financial statements were not accurate, contrary to Section 42A of the PFM Regulation 2015, which requires an accounting officer to sign a financial statement, thereby making him or himself or herself responsible for the correctness. 2, that contrary to Section 62B and C of the Public Audit Act 2015, the management failed to provide to the auditors monthly bank reconciliation statements. 3, that contrary to Section 138 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, which value of such grants or donations in their books of account, and Regulation 71(5) of the Public Finance Management Regulation 2015, which mandates the disclosure of gifts, donations, or sponsorships in the annual and quarterly financial statement, the management failed to disclose donations and the program commodities dragged in both financial years. 4, that nil balances were reflected for property, plant, equipment due to lack of values for the same. 5, that the management failed to provide to the auditors inventory valuation report. 6, that there was no evidence of conducting the annual stock take to confirm the quantities, value, and status of closing inventory balances as at 30th June 2022. 7, that during the financial year, the preparation of the financial statement did not comply with the Public Service Accounting Standards Board reporting template. 8, that the management failed to provide the annual approved budget for the audit. 9, that the hospital did not meet the requirement of Kenya Quality Model for health policy guidelines due to staff deficits by 100 staff requirement or 99% of the authorized establishment. 10, that the hospital does not have a charter contrary to the Section 1/11 of Mwongozo Code of Governance for State Corporation 2015, which states that the board should develop and adopt board charter that define the role, responsibilities, and functions of the board in the governance of the organization. 11, that the management failed to provide gazette notifications or the corresponding appointment letters to board members of the hospital. The same had been provided at the time of committee deliberation. Madam Speaker, General Committee recommendation. Number 1, that the accounting officer must adhere to Section 42A of the PFM Regulation 2015. 2, that going forward, the management must adhere to Section 62B and C of the Public Audit Act 2015 on timely provision of information as required by the auditors. 3, that going forward, the management must adhere to Section 138(8) of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and Regulation 71(5) of the Public Finance Management Regulation 2015 on a disclosure of donations. 4, that the County Executive Committee member for Health make necessary arrangements for valuation of property, plant, and equipment within a period of 90 days upon adoption of this report. 5, that going forward, the management must conduct annual stock take to confirm the quantities, value, and status of closing inventory balances. 6, that going forward, the management must ensure that they have approved budget for the facility. 7, that the County Executive Committee member responsible for health make necessary arrangements to drive the facility towards adhering with the requirements of Kenya Quality Model for the health policy guidelines. Number 8, Madam Speaker, that going forward, the management ensure that financial statements are accurate and present the true and fair view of financial position of the facility. 9, that going forward, the management must ensure that financial statements are prepared in a format that complies with the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board reporting template. Madam Speaker, in conclusion, I hereby request that this House adopt this report of the Public Accounts and Investment Committee on the consideration of the Auditor General's report on the financial statement of Nyaera Sub-County Hospital financial years 2021, 2022, and 2022 and 2023. Madam Speaker, may I call upon Honorable Seth Okumu to second? Thank you.
And honorable members, and now that the examination of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Nyahera Sub-County Hospital for the financial years 2021, 2022, and 2022-2023 by the Committee of Public Accounts and Investments Committee has been presented and seconded. And as per standing orders, I want to propose a question, and I propose that this report is now open for debate. Yes, Honorable Joachim of Okech of Kondele Ward.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, sometimes if you look at these audited reports, you get amazed at how our health institutions are being run. And if you are very keen, what the member from Nyalenda B was reading, some of these audit queries, sometimes you ask ourselves if we really have professionals running these health facilities, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, when you are questioned on the most basic, like not having bank reconciliations, which I think are the most basic duties of having accountants in those institutions. Madam Speaker, when there are no closing balances of inventory. So basically what that means is that even in that hospital alone, they cannot tell you the balance of all the material they had as at 30th of June. If they had 20 probably pieces of Panadol, the hospital is simply trying to tell you that they could not ascertain the quantity of stock of any material that they had at as close of business 30th of June. So it shows that we have a lot of unprofessionals running our institutions. You're being told that they couldn't even have what we call approved budget as at 30th of June. I mean, they were running the hospital without a budget. There was nothing. So I believe if you have an hospital and we have somebody professional running it, the first thing we'll actually ask that how much do I need to run this institution? But they are saying they have no clue of the budget they have to run that facility. They are saying they were given authority to incur expenditure. Of course, authority to incur expenditure is a particular ceiling that you have probably every month or every quarter or probably every half of the year. So I find it very difficult for them just to quote the amount of budget that they had to run the hospital, probably even the amount of that authority to incur expenditure, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, the reason why I'm saying this, I have an hospital in my ward that we've been struggling to probably operate. And we signed an MOU with JTRH to have it probably run by JTRH. And 2 weeks back, they tried to open the institution. But again, after some few days, there was a letter saying that they had to stop operating. So I think those are probably what we are talking about. If they knew that there were issues with public health, why were they rushing to open the hospital? And then after some few days, they are saying that they have to close it. So I think that shows the glaring nature of discrepancies and probably weak support staff that we have in this institution that we use to run. And therefore, I think the committee has done a very commendable job, probably trying to get information from the management to explain. But some of the explanation given by management are very clumsy. They are just trying to have their way. So it means that probably we've given an open check, we've given professionals, non-professionals to run the institutions, and they are minting money from these hospitals. And therefore, I believe as a house, we have a lot of work to do so that we stop such of these incidents from happening. Otherwise, I think the committee did a very good job, and I want to support the report. Thank you very much.
Yes, Majority Whip, Honorable Seth Kanga.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise to to debate on the report with some observations which I think the committee ignored. Madam Speaker, the committee of Peak and Park year round since we came to this assembly has been presenting very elaborate reports. However, they failed to give us remedies on failures to adhere with the relevant laws, as highlighted by the Honorable James Oyugiriweri. For example, in their recommendations, Madam Speaker, recommendation number 1, Madam Speaker, they have indicated to us that going forward, the committee, the facility must adhere to section 62 BSc of the Public Audit Act 2015 on timely provision of information as required by the Act, which talks about monthly reconciliation. And further, Madam Speaker, by highlighting so, in bullet 2, they say that the matter is resolved. What if the facility fails to adhere to the recommendations as per how the chair has read to us? Madam Speaker, you will find that the same people, the same persons, or the same officers who are working in the facility going by the financial year 2021-2022 will bring another, will face the committee on the financial year 2022-2023, and we will find that the same recommendation which has been presented by the committee will be presented again in the next financial year. Madam Speaker, we cannot be like as we, a Catholic priest is reading for us at the Mass, then we are asked as the choir to sing the way we have always been asked to sing. Then we pass the report like that. Then in the next financial year, you will find that the same officers who are running that facilities will go against in front of the committee, and the committee will interrogate them. Then the committee will bring to us the same report without taking necessary steps against these officers. I will urge the committee to tell us that if they fail to adhere to the recommendations of the committee, what will be done to them? Will they be able to appear to the committee again with the same report, with the same issues which have been highlighted by the Auditor General? Because if you find that you look at the recommendations of the committee, it is just the same, and finally the matter is resolved. It is the same, and finally the matter is resolved. It is resolved how? What are the remedies? What are the remedies when these same officers fail to adhere to the Public Finance Management Act, the Public Audit Act, the Public Disposal and what act? I don't know, because I am not an expert in that area. But you will find the recommendations are just the same. So I'll ask the committee to give us remedies. When these officers fail to adhere to this law, what will the assembly do to them? That's my recommendation. Otherwise, the report is good. The Public Accounts Committee, under the stewardship of Honorable Uko, and the members are doing a commendable job, but they should give us recommendation unto this officer. Otherwise, thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Tom Nyaoke of North Nyakach Ward.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, my colleague has addressed quite some issues. I would want to concentrate myself on item number 3.3 of the report, that is the non-disclosure of donated drugs, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, first and foremost, I stand to support the adoption of this report, having looked at quite the recommendations that have been given by the relevant committee on the same. Madam Speaker, the reason why I'm picking on this is probably one of the common mistakes that if we are not careful, we are going to be seeing quite several of them going ahead. And I'm actually drawing this to the attention of the implementation committee to pick up this particular area to make sure that during the implementation of this report, these particular areas are taken into consideration, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the 3.3 talks about non-disclosure of donated drugs. Madam Speaker, there is no area which has got a lot of money, particularly when it comes to donations of drugs. Madam Speaker, drugs are very expensive items, and that the donations of such items to a hospital or a dispensary must be taken into consideration and with serious terms, Mr. Speaker. Madam Speaker, we are informed in this report, it is also even with admission of the management that if we look at the management response, it is true that at the time of audit, bank reconciliation statements were not available for audit. Let me move to that particular area. It is true that the statement of financial performance reflects a nil amount of grants from donors and development partners and a nil amount for transfer from other government entities. However, data from KEMSA revealed that the hospital received donations and program commodities, drugs worth 8.474 million and universal health coverage of 306,447, which were not disclosed in the financial statements. Madam Speaker, failure to include this in the financial statements can be deliberate, and it is very possible that such kind of omissions can be considered as deliberate, Madam Speaker. And that is why I'm imploring upon the implementation committee that they try to dig, as they look at the implementation of this report after the adoption, they should be able to look at some of those areas why such items can fail to be declared or put on record, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, 8.4 million is not something that you can just omit in an institution such as the one we are talking about, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I don't want to take much of this time, but the fact of the matter is, as we go through the implementation of this report after the adoption, then we should pay attention to such kind of very important issues that keep on recurring each and in every report. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I beg to support.
Yes, Honorable Ruben Rakwach.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also wish to add my voice on this PICPAC report. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we realize that there are some things that can be avoided, and if at all the government entities can do what is required, then they can even help in making better the opinion of the auditors. You realize that there are mismatch or variances in when you are comparing the financial statement with the supporting ledger. And you will realize that these are the same people who spent these monies. So when it comes to reconciliation, you will always realize that there is a mismatch, and this is something which can really be avoided if at all we had serious officers. At the same time, I would also say that the executive, or rather the Department of Health, is also letting us down, because the management even talks of lack of accountant, and it is something which has been there for some times, and they are even reporting that because the reporting format was also an issue, and they are saying that it is because they are lacking those who have the know-how. If at all the department knows that Nyaira Sub-County Hospital needs an accountant, then it is good that they hire one and put it there to help in this, so that the auditor's opinion can move from the qualified and even to unqualified, which is the best. Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, we also realize that though some of the things that have contributed to this opinion are non-disclosure of donated drugs, which we know the value of drugs. So it is just a matter of reporting, knowing the value of the drugs, and then listing, and also disclosure of the property, plant and equipment. You will realize that most of the government entities, Honorable Speaker, sit on land, parcels of land which are not registered under the county government of Kisumu. And this one is going to bring a lot of problems. Year in, year out, you get that it is an issue which is being flagged by the Office of the Auditor General, but the executive is doing very little. Because you will realize, sometimes you will realize that the management have even written to the executive, and they even come here and adduce the evidence showing that they have engaged the executive on this. But still you get that we have got even the Department of Lands, maybe the Department of Lands is not even aware that they need to help a facility to secure a title deed. There are even properties, Honorable Chair, Honorable Speaker, and you realize that just valuating those properties and keeping the register is a problem. So it is a problem that keeps on recurring. So I would really wish that the entities, with the support of the executive, does something so that we don't get into these problems. And also, Honorable Speaker, as a member of the committee, we realize that we give recommendations. Some of them are the same, just as Honorable Majority Whip has observed. But you will get that each and every report will be looked at on its own account. When somebody steals a chicken today, if in the regulation or in the law, he should be imprisoned for 1 month. Even if he steals again, it will remain 1 month, Honorable Speaker. So it is upon the implementation committee, that once a report is passed in this house with the recommendations, they follow up so that all that was recommended is implemented, and I think that one is going to help us avoid some of the recurring problems in this, our reports, Honorable Speaker. As I can also remember, there is a report which we passed in this house against the executives, and we recommended that report be referred to EACC to do some investigations. Up to now, we have not been given any update as of whether that resolution was given to the EACC and what they are doing about it, Honorable Speaker. So I think it is not a matter of the PICPAC committee, but it is a matter of a follow-up by the implementation committee. Otherwise, I support. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Peter Obaso.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I also rise to add a voice on this report that is before this House. Madam Speaker, if you look this report and the previous ones that have been read here by the Committee of Big Bag, you can see a trend in all these hospitals that are around. One thing you will notice is they don't conform with the financial regulations that are provided. And that's a big mistake. If you want to go forward as a county, then there are some stringent measures that we should put in place to guide how these people use the funds that are available to them to develop these hospitals. And without that, then we will continue losing funds and non-services to our people. This will be not be good to the people that we serve. Madam Speaker, from this report, we can see variances, unexplained amount of funds that have been lost. And I think as the committee should have put some stringent recommendation so that when this report will be laid to the implementation committee, then I think they should have something that will make these people accountable for those variances that have been noticed in this report. Madam Speaker, with those few remarks, I beg to support. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Benny Peto.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I also want to make a little contribution on this report. Madam Speaker, Kisumu County has been praised for the enactment of Facility Improvement Fund. And when we were in Nairobi last week, this strongly came out that Kisumu County is among the few countries that have enacted this act. And the picture that was given is that collection in the health facilities is good, it's not bad. Now the big picture we are getting, the management of these funds is now poor. The question now comes, is this intentional? Because the department that is supposed to see that these funds are properly used is the finance department. The accountants, the procurement officers who are supposed to be employed are supposed to be employed by the Department of Finance. And why is it that these health facilities are being given the power to manage themselves and they are not being given the personnel? Is it for nothing that is being done? And Madam Speaker, it is known that Kisumu County is overstaffed. The wage bill is worrying. Why can't the government take measures to see to it that the necessary personnel are employed and the ones that are not very much necessary, needed, are not employed, to give us good picture of the management of our finances? When you go through this report, the audit department is not well established in this country. The question comes, why? Why is it that the audit department is not well established? And Madam Speaker, without saying a lot, the problem lies with the executive of this county. And a message should be sent to the governor that the chief officer of finance department should be employed, not people on acting capacity since he became the governor. This is a major weakness in the finance department of Kisumu. And some of the reports brought to this assembly have given direction to that line. And why it has become so difficult for the governor to have a substantive chief officer in the finance department, we don't know who will explain. If it is that cannot be echoed by this assembly, and with all the reports we get here, the negative reports, the assembly cannot tell the governor, these are the reports you are getting here, and we need the finance department to improve in its services, the assembly shall have failed the people of Kisumu County. A member was saying here that a recommendation was made here one time that a report be taken to Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. That was done. And where is that report? Let us not bog down the implementation committee with such reports. That is a recommendation that once made by this house, it is the clerk of the assembly to write that letter considering the Hansard report of this house, and the report is taken to the Ethics and Anti-Corruption. But the big issue is, let us have a substantive chief officer in the finance department. It is a major weakness to have acting officers in that department since the Governor Nyong'o came to power. I so contribute, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Adonija Odari.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Let me call the mover to reply.
Yes, Honorable James Were.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, let me take this opportunity, first of all, to commend the committee members of PICPAC for having put a spirited fight in ensuring that all the flagged issues come out and deliberated in this honorable house. Madam Speaker, I know several informations and weaknesses came as a result of this. And Mr. Speaker, going by the recommendation, we find that there has been a trend as put forward by honorable members. But Madam Speaker, Honorable Seth Kanga did talk about remedies. Madam Speaker, it is upon this house, having been flagged out by the committee, this house has a sole responsibility of ensuring that the correct thing is done and to ensure that the financial controls are put in place. Madam Speaker, I know when such audit is conducted, there are some complaints that there are things that are submitted later. Whenever they are submitted, that's where the matter that is claimed to have been resolved is coming. Madam Speaker, if you look at recommendation 1, that several members did talk about, adherence to section 42 of the Public Finance Management Act, we must ensure as assembly to make sure that all financial transactions reporting mechanism comply with the stipulated financial control, particularly in the management of public funds, expenditure approval, and accountability framework. Madam Speaker, whenever that is done, we shall find that there are a lot of things that we can put as a remedy. Yeah. Maybe some of our staff are lacking capacity building. Maybe if they are trained and capacity build, then it can correct that. Madam Speaker, as we conduct our oversight, we must ensure that we put much effort on internal control. Internal controls and oversight. And again, we must ensure that there is compliance in audit. Our internal audits. This will help correct all these that we are talking about. Otherwise, Madam Speaker, I want to thank all honorable members who have put their views in this report, those who have supported it both positively and negatively. I believe that moving forward, we shall help these our entities and ensure that the best is coming out of them, and to ensure that we bring back public confidence. Otherwise, Madam Speaker, I beg to reply. Thank you.
Honorable members, and now that the Public Accounts and Investment Committee report on the examination of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements for Nyahera Sub-County Hospital for the financial years 2021, 2022, and 2022-2023 has been presented, seconded, and debated, and it's time for me to put a question. And I put that as many of the opinion that this report be adopted say aye. As many as the contrary opinion say nay. And the ayes have it. And the report by the Public Accounts and Investment Committee report on the examination of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements for Nyahera Sub-County Hospital for the financial years 2021, 2022, and 2023 has been adopted today, Tuesday, the 25th of March, 2025 at 15:37 hours. And I direct that this report, together with the Hansard report, be submitted to the relevant department for purposes of implementation. Next, Order Clerk.
Order number 9. Motion on adjournment on definite matter of urgent county importance until Thursday, 3rd April 2025.
Yes, Honorable Kennedy Ouko, Leader of Majority.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise to move a motion for adjournment. Aware that the proposed Kisumu County Fiscal Strategy Paper, CFSP, for the financial year 2025-2026 was laid on the table of the County Assembly during its sittings of Tuesday, 5th March 2025 at 9 a.m. and committed to the sectional committees to deliberate upon according to their respective mandates and make recommendations to the Budget and Appropriations Committee for consideration. Further, aware that the Kisumu County proposed supplementary budget estimates for the financial year 2024-2025 was also laid on the table of the County Assembly during the sitting on Wednesday, 12th March 2025, and consequently committed to the Committee on Budget and Appropriations for consideration, acknowledging that in the spirit of fostering inclusivity, transparency, and accountability in the budgeting process, and in accordance with Article 201 of the Constitution of Kenya, Section 117 and 125 of the PFM Act, the County Assembly conducted and has today concluded public participation on the Kisumu County Fiscal Strategy Paper, further acknowledging that to ensure alignment of budget priorities with sectoral needs, enhance policy and expenditure scrutiny, and promote transparency and accountability, there is need of sectoral committees to engage with their respective line departments in discussions geared towards stakeholder input, compliance with the legal frameworks, and effective resource allocation to improve service delivery. Additionally, it will also provide an opportunity to refine sectoral allocations and propose necessary amendments before two documents can be finalized and tabled for adoption. Now, therefore, the Assembly urges members to adjourn the House until Thursday, 3rd April 2025 at 2:30 p.m. to allow for sector engagements between the sectoral committees and the line departments on the proposed Kisumu County Fiscal Strategy Paper for the financial year 2025-2026 and the Kisumu County proposed supplementary budget estimates for the financial year 2024-2025. And Madam Speaker, I would like Honorable Member for Seme East, Honorable Seto Kumutu second. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise to second the adoption of adjournment motion. Madam Speaker, you know, before us is the supplementary budget, and we also have the county fiscal strategy paper, documents that are really important for us to look through as an assembly, and to help guide the next budget estimate, and also to inform the current budget estimates. Madam Speaker, as you know, we only have 3 months to the end of the budget cycle for the year 2024-2025, and with the supplementary budget, we need to move with speed so that we do not halt the implementation of several projects that are going on. I think for that matter, Madam Speaker, we need to call on members that we are adjourning, not for them to be away from the plenary, but to join in processing both the CSFP and the supplementary budget estimates. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I second.
Honorable members, and now that the motion on the adjournment of definite matter of urgent county importance until Thursday, the 3rd of April 2025 has been moved and seconded, and as per standing orders, I want to propose, and I propose that this motion is now open for debate. Yes, Honorable Tom Nyaoke, member for North
Madam Speaker, may I call the mover to reply?
Yes, Leader of Majority.
Madam Speaker, I want to thank the members for supporting the adjournment. Madam Speaker, I want to say that the two documents before this House are very important in running the affairs of this county, and we do not want to waste any time because it will interfere with our program for this financial year. Again, I would urge all members, I want to urge you to attend all the deliberations that we will be having with the line departments. So make sure that you attend all these sessions so that you don't miss or you don't have any issue or any item missing from your word. Otherwise, Honorable Madam Speaker, I reply. Thank you.
Honorable members, and now that the motion on the adjournment on definite matter of urgent county importance until Thursday, the 3rd of April 2025 has been moved, seconded and debated, and as per standing orders, I will not put a question. As per standing orders number 31, this House stands adjourned until Thursday, the 3rd of April 2025 at 2:30 p.m.